one allowed to be loved.
Yeah.
You know when you're always the leader, you're up there. No?
Yes.
Until he selects the place, you don't. Like you lead from behind. Like
If you don't give that man a chance to lead, they will find somebody else to lead.
Yes. Me, I feel it takes a lot of energy to be extremely a feminist. Yeah? Like that, to stand up for independent woman.
It does.
Than it is for you to relax.
Yes, but it all started with you taking up his role.
Yeah.
It started by you taking up things that you were supposed to do.
Sandra, I remember.
Marriage is not a straight line, but every day we strive to make it straight.
Marriage is not a straight line.
But every day we strive.
Hello, welcome to our YouTube channel. We are Wives Rising. Thank you for joining us once again. If you are a new subscriber, hello, feel at home. You are highly welcome. If you are an old subscriber, we love you. Thank you for coming once again. Thank you, thank you. We are Wives Rising, and my name is Beatrice Chimpi.
Sandra Lwanga.
Barbara Emiru.
And we are
Wives Rising.
Marriage is not a straight line,
But every day we strive to make it straight.
Yeah, and in that effort, today we've come with a special topic. In the effort of making marriage a straight line, which is not as easy as it is. Today's topic is quite, you might think they are pointing out, it's you they are pointing out, but we are not pointing out anyone, but we want to speak to ourselves. It also speaks to us, the ones who are, here and serving you today. The woman that feels extremely empowered, but in a negative sense. Yeah, we have had stories in our communities, even as we are growing our children, we are growing them to be empowered girls, to be empowered women, to be vocal, to stand up for themselves. But how far is too much of that? How this can also affect our marriages or relationships if we don't know how to moderate it, to balance that energy out. Yeah, I don't know about you, but me, I've had, like on social media, you see women telling women, you have to stand up for yourself. Oh, that the femininity, drive is on the high.
Yeah.
But if we do not again come out and speak about this topic and say that we need to find a balance on being in that, on embracing how God made us and to remain in that role. Because we've seen in marriage, people like that, things don't end well so much. Things don't end well, where you feel I can do everything by myself.
You can't be Miss Independent in marriage.
You're taking long. I'm just going to do it by myself.
Actually, you do it.
Yeah, you actually do it. We've seen women, we've grown up in homes where we've grown up with single moms, so we've grown up with, not even only single moms, we've grown up in homes where we are leaders. So what does it mean?
Firstborns.
Firstborns. Every time they tell you, Sandra, Sandra, we have girls who are 12 years, 13, 16, they know how to turn the tires. So when they enter marriage, they are not waiting. They are not waiting for you to gather yourself. So they tell you something once, twice, you're not doing it, they want to do it by themselves. But it was a challenge for me as a person. But I learned slowly by slowly to go into that, to embrace that version of who God called me to be a woman, to be a feminine woman, to be softer and allow my husband to lead, and allow my husband to take on some of that power, and it balances the home. Because if we have two people who are like this, it kind of leaves the marriage in a state of quagmire, like one of the people say. And I don't know what you ladies have to say. For me, what I've seen in society is something that is making even women end up walking away from their marriages because they feel like they cannot be controlled by a man. They cannot serve a man. They cannot go to that level. No, that is too low for me.
Yeah.
They are in a wrong place.
Yes.
What I'll add is, I want to add on what Beatrice is saying. It is good to know your role and your stand. We are called to submit. We doesn't matter your culture, doesn't matter your career, how empowered you are, but just know that you're going to be led. So that's what calls in for submissiveness. Because at the end of the day, you're going to find issues. You cannot be a Miss Independent in a marriage.
You can't.
You cannot be a Miss Independent in a marriage because these men from childhood, I think it is
Inborn.
It is inborn. So kindly just capture it now, as you're preparing, as maybe your first year or your 3 months, capture the fact that you will be led at some point. And one thing I want to thank our viewers for these topics. Thank you so much, because in the comment section, it's when you give us topics and be like, okay, we shall highlight it.
For me, the issue also that I've noticed with the ladies is ladies taking up the men's taking up the man's responsibility. For example, you want to pay the rent, you want to be the one to fix the car, you want to be the one to, wire up the things. Like, give yourself the grace and let also the man, take the support. If the man is there in the house, why are you up there climbing to put up the bar? Why are you in the car fixing tires? Honestly,
Yes, I get
save
you.
your energy.
I get you. Actually, I was trying to borrow was it in primary or secondary? I've forgotten so well, but it was either in social studies, history. There are those societies where women are the heads of the family. They're called, remind me of that history. So unless
you find yourself
in such a society where women are the heads,
But culture, there's a culture.
Yes, there's a culture. I was trying to remember whether it is history or it is social studies. Unless you come from that culture, that is when you're supposed to be the head. But if you do not come from that culture, we have been trained up, actually, since childhood. A man is a man. The head of the family is a man. So for a lady who is out there, if you know you cannot be controlled by a man, actually don't bother to get married. Do not bother, because marriage has a priest of the home, and that is your husband. So what Babs was talking about, before even you try to, because helping, women are supposed to be helpers. You might help to fix the car. You might help to pay the rent. But before you do that, you're supposed to inquire from your husband and say, honey, the car got a flat tire. Can I do this? Can I go change this? Then you will say, go, do. Because you're a co-worker, you're a co-person. But God did not create us to do those things entirely as. That means you're not even submitting. Yeah, she talked about us firstborns, us who are firstborns. We grew up controlling our siblings. We grew up like your parent could tell your mom, can't you see that wire is there? Can't you do something about it? Can't you see that the water is dripping from the tap? Can't you tighten it? Yeah? So you find like we carry those skills with us as we go into marriage. We are hands-on. Like you will not wait for your husband to come and fix the sink. Yeah? I'll fix it for myself. Because that's the way I've been trained as a firstborn.
I have a question for Beatrice and for us all. There's a lady there. Maybe she's even wondering, actually, we got that comment in our, ladies talk about a man who is not willing to lead. Who is not willing to lead. You're willing to be led as a wife, but this person is not willing to lead. Can you help that person? You remember in one yes, that person.
When the man is not
willing. I mean, you're calling him to climb the cedar. You're calling him, you have an issue, but he's not the first person, he's not
willing.
Actually,
he's your husband.
That person is the same as the woman who is not being, like for me, what my husband suffered from is the way that woman is suffering with the husband. Me, again, I wasn't, I wanted to be like, but I was, he finds already. One day he just packed. I was like, no, I'm not going there. We are not, I'm not going. All I told him serious. we're not going there. He parked the car like, can you just for once allow? Like, you know, allow, yes. And this time, it wasn't even something bad. I'd lost my mom, and I was going through depression, so he was trying to find ways to make me happy. But I was rejecting everything. So he was taking me out. I was like, I just want to go home. But can't you ever be soft? And they do things for you, yes.
And you allowed.
And I allowed. And from
what about
then,
that lady who is willing to allow, but the husband is not giving her the leadership?
Yeah, I think, you know, for us women, how we handle things is not how men handle. Now, in that scenario, my husband used a very strong voice to get me to think. And from then, I started being a bit softer. But for a woman, again, you cannot shout at your husband and push him around and tell him, why can't you be a man? Other men, you're going to have to either help him by, you know how you help someone indirectly by directing them to do something, yet
Baby steps.
you get what I mean? I think, honey, we need to buy land. Matuga, no more for Sato. You are until he selects the place, you don't. Like you lead from behind, like you help him.
And then that's good.
You bring in the element of being resilient and patient.
Very
Slowly, patient.
He's going to
Matuga, actually, you get the blocker number. No, you call this person. Like it's hard work.
Yeah, exactly.
Another feel for that lady.
No, it's just like the way we go to our workplaces. When your boss wants to take you to another level, they'll always give you the assignments.
Yes.
They'll always tell you to be on the front line, but in a very good way, not like too much pushing.
Yes. Someone even doesn't realize that.
They can tell you, go for a meeting for the first time, go represent the company. And then you're there panicking. And then even you can give you, I remember the first time I was sent to make a presentation at your boss. My boss gave me like all the points to speak. But it was like, it is now time for you to grow up. Yeah? It was time for you to climb the ladder as in you leave this comfort. So you find that man that Karina has talked about, there is a comfort. Maybe it started from the genesis of their marriage, when the woman was doing everything and the man got into the comfort state.
And also there are lazy men who are brought up like that, and you land on him and you suffer.
The man can be lazy.
That woman is.
Yeah, the man can be lazy, but even the woman, you come and pamper him. You're like they call them like, I got a mommy's boy. Yeah, you're like, I'm doing this for my husband, I'm doing this. But for someone who is still there, if you're still into, you haven't yet entered into marriage, what you do, you let the man, you give him his roles. If you see that he's a person who cannot push, it's like having a child who cannot see that even there is water there, he's going to fall, to go outside and bring the rug. What you do, like Beatrice just give an example, you tell him, honey, the ceiling. If he doesn't work on it, you relax. Don't rush to do it. You leave it. Even tomorrow you say, honey, the ceiling. Then you will say, oh, what we call that guy. There's no need to call the technician. Just get on the table, get on the... No, in a good way, because you're trying to tell him... No, you're telling him... No, do you know why? There are people, I'm sorry to say, when they cannot think outside the box. When they always think, like when you have like a small brass portion at home, that someone will even call these people that slash, to come and slash. Yet actually, you can even do it as a mean of exercise. Like you do it. So,
my feeling would be like to help my friend. I remember actually I went to just to continue with the conversation. But if you're living in the city, don't even give steps. Somebody get a stool. Now he will tell you. That you know. Do the stool and do the thing.
Unless
what you do, maybe leave it completely. Because one of the things, one of my the experience, like a friend, children were going to school. But this person, he has not been a leader since day one. So this time I'm like, what can I do? I told her, you know what you do? Leave the kids know that you go to school.
Exactly, yes.
You see, I know you're going to be, but first leave. So that, because he had the capacity, but only that he, I think, like what Beatrice has said, those men, I mean, don't tell them that. I mean, they are not leaders.
Everything is being
their
done.
parents do things for them.
Yeah.
And they find the independent women somehow.
And by the way, they end up on those kind of women.
Usually, usually. But when you identify such, you're going to ask God. Our OGs and OBs Beatrice talked about asking God to tone you, to tone you down. So I told her, tone down. Leave the kids in the home and see what will happen.
Hey.
Now the kids is 2 weeks. You mean you've not taken them to school?
I'm
I'm waiting for you.
We don't have
You
requirements.
told me to give you time to, think about it. So, and it is now when we started to. Sometimes it calls for
It's patience.
Yeah, and be like, and toning down. You be like, I want to be led, especially if you want to be led, especially in the African culture. Men are men. Men are men. So ladies, let us tone down in the things, career, empowerment, money, feminism. Tone down on those things so that you have a good marriage.
Maybe if we tell them that some of the advantages of being being led, the advantages of being led. When you allow a man to be in their emblem, to be in their body, the house is just like in order.
It feels good
because
when he's
God's
taking
order.
over.
I don't know. For me, it took long to click. I even took long to know that I have a problem because I didn't know it was a problem. I thought that is how people are supposed. That's how life is supposed to be. But then after I remember now that I used to struggle a lot being in that body which is not mine. I used to struggle a lot and use a lot of energy. But now I am, a relaxed woman where you know that if my husband takes care of that, I will take care of that. You rest, you sleep well, and with no worries. Because me, I feel it takes a lot of energy to be extremely a feminist, like that, to stand up for independent woman.
It does.
Than it is for you to relax.
Yes, actually, you get weary, you get tired. You find because it is nature. You do it and do it and do it, and then before you know it, you're like, I'm fed up of this man. I'm fed up. He will never do this. He will not do this. He will not do this. But it all started with you taking up his role. It started by you taking up things that you were supposed to do.
Sandra, I remember some things just a little. So when we were at campus and dating, I didn't know that when we were dating, I was exhibiting those traits, the traits of being a soft. No. They were not there. Everything in my hostel, I was quiet. If you come and just, like my roommate used to disturb me a lot. Everything I would call Dennis and cry and tell him, you can imagine, everything I would tell him, let me come. I didn't know that had attracted that man. Entering marriage, I think it's a defensive mechanism. It's in us, like, so that came out, and it's him who now, like, he lived with it for a long time, that he was like, the crying baby. Me now, when I went back to that kind of woman, it took me long because the other one was my natural me. So I lived like that for a long time, and it was so heavy on our marriage. But when I got back to the other person, it is very sweet. Life is sweet.
You say I'm dancing. It's because one, allowed to be loved. You know when you're always the leader, you're up there alone.
Yes.
You're up there alone. But if you're a girl, and you just be, I cannot cry. You put the kiss there. Even if you're not at the back of your mind, you can cry.
Yes.
But the more you're loved,
do you know those scenarios where you're at home and you fall sick, and then you know how to drive, you can't even reach the hospital, you're like, I'm sick.
And it feels good.
Can you come back?
But also,
when you overlead, you'll not be loved.
Allowed to be a woman, allowed to be a lady.
Also, if you don't give that man a chance to lead, they will find somebody else to lead.
Yes.
Because it is in their blood, it is their nature to lead.
Yes. You're right. They will find someone to lead.
Yes.
Those young girls, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Abeguye mweguyeko.
Actually, there are women that have never been stuck in life. They always figure out everything. Everything they figure out. And she's even proud. She's like, me? Just tap on me, I have the answer. Nothing can fail me. and that is them from even primary. They have never been stuck in life. But that's such a person, a man cannot lead you. Because even your man knows.
Love you.
Have you ever seen men who say, that one, sure, she'll handle. Did you say my wife? She's not that type. She's not that type.
You will get another soft spot where you will handle all that.
Yes.
Ladies, we go back and
Be soft.
Time for change,
By another advantage, you feel young.
You feel young.
When you're allowed to be led, you feel young. Yeah, there is that youthful love that comes back in your marriage because you're leaving him to lead and you relax and sit back. Talk. You don't be
Kalukana, nasema kalukana.
Yes. So you're there as a lady, you're doing your lipstick, you're doing your lip gloss.
I think Babi what wali tu abona nyoga tu.
Yes, that personality of yes.
I know.
You're used to,
This
you know.
is how young you are. Look at your
But it has
style.
just come. But I told my friend, I was like,
learn.
I'm tired. I just want now to be a woman. Like I want to be soft.
Yes,
like,
because
now I'm in my
it
era.
always comes back when you see other women being treated as women. Yeah, sometimes it will dawn
on you.
and then you're like, but me, why are things like this?
Things are not like
Why? And by the time you wake up, it will be too late.
It will be too late.
And sometimes you don't blame them because it is how you were brought up. It's your personality. You're the firstborn. You're the orphan. You have to,
To struggle and survive.
Yeah,
friends.
we understand. Let me tell you, like the saying goes, you have no authority over your past, but you have authority over your future.
future.
You can decide on what I want to be. You might be an orphan, you might be the firstborn, you might be when you became a mother at 10 years, but now you're going to be led by someone else. You decide.
Yes.
You decide, like, when I get my husband, I'll be submit, I'll be humble. Like all these burdens, like the way you say, Jesus, we put our burdens unto Lord, and you cry unto Him to do like the way He wants. So it's
And me, maybe someone there say, but what about if it is something that has maybe attracted this man to me? Yeah,
like when the man says how hardworking you are,
how hardworking.
career. Yes.
You know that trait. That trait.
Attracted a man.
Yes.
To love you.
But then, when he was attracted to you, when Rachi is cementing, it was because at some point in your conversations you showed that you were soft. Yes. That by the way, men like hardworking women.
Yes.
People shouldn't get us wrong.
Yes.
It doesn't mean don't work.
No, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't work, because that trait, by the way, it has a way. It
It
helps
has a
in the
weight.
family. It has a role
Yeah,
it
it
plays.
has a weight,
Because when things are not moving, your husband is a lot of things. You need to step up.
Yes.
But we are saying that it has to be balanced. Not all here through, like you're the one who is, unless he has asked you, Sandra, could you please go to the site and help out this month? I'm not around. Then you need that. You need it. But that woman, there's a spot when that man, it is just natural. It melts their heart. It melts their heart to serve you, to be the one to do certain things for you.
Yeah. Actually, me to add on what Karen was saying, if the hardworking bit is the one that attracted the man to you. Yeah. Because it may not be like the soft part would say. Actually, some men love the way some women do things like in a masculine way. But the thing is, keep doing it. We are not stopping you from doing it. But you have to balance. You have to know the limits. There are things you have been, like those days when women used to drive those manual cars, and men are like, oya musajja, avuga manual, double cabin. You know those girls that work for Coca-Cola and Vichy. You remain doing that. But there are some responsibility, there are some things that you don't just bump into without even your man's consent.
I think it's what we usually
without
talk
your
about.
man's consent.
I think it's what we usually talk about, being intentional.
Yes,
Keep the girl in you. Yes, you're doing all that, but be intentional.
Yes, you be intentional. Yes.
You always hide it, run with it within you.
Yeah.
But the hard work, it is also good.
Babi is stranded, but me, I'm like, everything you're speaking, like I keep seeing myself. If you're like me, and you're suffering, or you have been suffering with it doesn't come as easy as the way you're saying that when you get married,
Next time.
it is a struggle. Between you getting the phone and saying, honey, I need help, and you solving the thing, you feel like solving is much easier than telling the person.
Yes.
Yeah. So it comes by intentionality. You think about it. I love the moments when I'm a girl.
I know.
Those are the sweetest moments in my marriage. Like you tap in some kind of energy in your husband that has taken. Very busy. You have taken long to. I don't know. I don't want to spill a lot of things, but I know one day my husband was like, I've taken long without seeing you being like that. Yes.
Wow.
But what I mean is men. Okay, I don't know. I don't want to speak to everybody but it is very lighter for you to be a woman than it is.
Submit.
Yeah.
Be under. Be guided.
Yeah. Okay, behind that.
So thank you so much. That has been it. Any parting words in just a few seconds, ladies? What do you want to say?
Be a girl. Keep it within you. Bambi run with it.
Yeah.
Bambi pray for it. Bambi practice it.
Yeah.
Be a girl. Things will work out.
Yes. Submission. I cannot fail to support submission. However hardworking you are, however qualified you are, however whatever you are, PhD, as a woman, as a wife in a home, submit.
Wow.
As you plan to get married, for you who is single, go with this mentality that a woman was called to be submissive. You will not be loved if you're not submissive, because those two things work hand in hand. That's why Christ ordered the men to love as Christ loved the church. And he ordered the women to submit. So if you do not submit, you will not receive the love.
My dear firstborns, Miss Independence, but often yabakula mukalukana. Muri mukalukana. You know,
You struggle
let's take in patience. When you tell a husband to help you and he's slow, be patient. Yeah. If it means not paying school fees for those boys for the first 2 weeks, for him to know that he has to pay the school fees, please sit and be patient and watch him take his role.
Yeah.
So that has been it from us. If you have any questions or any supplements, please put them in our comments. And then if you want to message us, you can go to our Instagram, Wives Rising, and message us there. We shall continue the conversation on our stories. Till next time, we've been Wives Rising. We love you so much.
Bye.